Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy whatever day it is that you're listening to this podcast. This is the Looking for My Fit podcast. My name is Jamaica, and today, y'all, I have somebody who, if you really know me and like you follow me on social media, you've heard her name before. I sometimes wonder if she gets tired of me bringing her name up, but it doesn't matter because she's a big part of my story. I've talked about this girl, Lindsey, who has seriously with a small invitation like changed the trajectory of my life, and so only fitting that I have her on here today. Everybody give it up for my girl Lindsey Talton. Yeah!
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. This is like a huge honor to be on your podcast.
Oh,
So
you make
thanks
me
for
feel
having me.
you are so welcome. So look, you make me feel special. Thank you.
No, you
So
are special. This is a huge deal.
you're like stepping outside of the comfort zone.
Yes, this is outside of my comfort zone, just doing this, but I'm so proud of you for doing it.
Oh, thanks, girl. Well, you had a huge role, even though I don't know if you realize how huge it is, in like me even being here. Because if you had asked me where I was going to be 3, 4 years ago, I would have been like, oh, I'm an assistant principal right now.
Right?
That's what I would have said. And like, no, I'm not even in the school system anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So before we get into the full conversation with Lindsey, I just need to give a backdrop of why she's so important to me. So I met Lindsey in 2015.
Oh
I
my
think I'm pretty
God.
sure. I know, girl. Isn't that crazy? I know. We've known each other that long. I met you in 2015.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2015. We were both working for the school system here in Charlotte. And I got a job at the school, and you were already there. How long were you there total?
I was already there. Yes. I was there for 12 years total. So
Man.
I started like my student teaching there. So I've been there since 2008.
Oh yeah, so you had time. You like the OG at the
Yeah,
school.
yes, that was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we were both what's called facilitators. Only in Charlotte can you say that and like people know. But I feel like when I'm talking to other people, I'm like, well, a facilitator. Let me
Yeah,
explain this to you.
it's
But
very hard to explain.
it is. So I always tell people it's like an assistant principal of instruction.
Hmm.
And so you were working with elementary, I was working with middle school.
Right.
But where our worlds crossed was outside for the amazing carpool line.
Good old carpool.
Good old carpool line, which was insane because the line was like ridiculous.
Right.
But what I loved about it is I really did look forward to the morning because you and I got to stand outside and talk all the time.
I totally agree. That was my favorite 30 minutes of the day. Like, as much as I hated carpool, I loved that time. I loved the
Yes,
time of chatting with you.
we used to laugh so much. Like the stuff we would talk about was just so funny and it made the time go by so fast.
Well, because you're so funny. I like for years have said you're like the female version of Kevin Hart. Like I love Kevin Hart.
Uh,
And you just make me laugh so hard. And
you'll
like
really
every
get
day I look forward to that because we laughed so hard to start our days.
you give me too much credit, but thank you. Yes, it was just so
Seriously.
fun. We would be out there laughing. So we're here and we had to fill out what's called a professional development plan. And the superintendent for the zone that we were in gave us a challenge to put health on this plan. And so basically it's like, what do you want to achieve by the end of the school year? Not just your professional goals, but what are your personal goals?
Hmm.
And so my health goal was I wanted to lose, I think I put 30 pounds on there. It was
Hmm.
something. And so anyway, I put it on there. It was like, yeah. And then I went on about my life. I did nothing.
As you do with PDP goals.
That's what you did with PDP. Like, I turned this in, guys. If you could just give me my check, I appreciate it. Thank you. So I put it on there. And so Pride, that was the assistant principal. My office was beside her office. And so she walked by my office one day and she goes in her office and she said, first of all, I was sitting in my office eating a cupcake. Let's talk about
They
I'm
were
like,
all cupcakes.
yes, I'm losing 30 pounds with these cupcakes. Okay. So I'm like, I'm eating a cupcake. Pride walks by. She pulls up the PDP because technically they're supposed to like check it mid-year. And
Oh
so
my God.
So she and I, we're close enough to where she can joke like that. No, like I'm not gonna get
Right.
offended. Like, so Rich, how's that health component going? I want to lose 30 pounds, and I'm over this cupcake. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lose the weight. Now, prior to that, I had kind of told you that story too, and you were like, girl, you need to come work out with me. So you like invited me to your gym. You should come and work out with me.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. But I never came. You invited me so many times.
I know. Well, we talked about it all the time, and I was so excited about it. I really
Yeah.
was.
And I was like, maybe one day. But it was something about Pride making that joke about me with that cupcake. I was
Yeah.
like, you watch.
Today's the
So
day.
I remember texting you from my car in the Walmart parking lot. I sent you a screenshot from Groupon and was like, is this the gym you go to? And you were
Yeah.
like, yes. Are you really coming? And I was like, I'm coming Monday. And you were like, I will meet you there. I was like, okay. So I went, and girl, who knew that not only would I go there and lose that weight, but that I would end up staying, becoming a trainer, and then leaving the school system to like work for this franchise. How crazy.
Like, it's the most amazing story. Like, I feel so special to be a part of it. Like,
Yes.
it's amazing. It's amazing what you've done.
But it was all because of an invitation. So that's why I like tell people, don't underestimate like inviting somebody to come and do something. And so that's why I
Right.
tell people now, I'm like, you don't know who's watching or the impact it may have. And like, just keep inviting. I tell about you all the time.
Oh,
So
thank
thanks,
you.
girl. Because I left, and then it was just like my life has just been so different. I mean, it's been a lot of growth, and it hasn't been all easy, but like I couldn't honestly imagine still being in the school system right now.
Right.
And
Right.
so I'm like, if you
You
had,
made so many jumps, and it's been so much fun to watch. Like,
yeah,
it's just so cool to see. I mean, I can't believe that was 2015, but just seeing what you've done in that time, it's like, it's just amazing. I love
oh,
it. I wish you were closer because I only made it out to Steel Creek once.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, that one camp. Oh, and that was like a good one too.
yeah, yeah, you killed me that day, but
I was like, oh,
yeah,
she's here. We about to go.
yeah, I wish you were closer for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I just, so when y'all hear me talk about Lindsey, this is who I am talking about. And so you're like one of my favorite people.
Oh,
Um,
don't
but
make me cry tonight,
oh no,
okay?
no, okay, only no tears. No, you can have tears. You see, I'm leaning into vulnerability, so you can cry.
All right.
But this is what I want to talk about. So I'm in a program, you know a little bit about it, called Purpose to Platform right now.
Mhm.
And it's just about like building your confidence, finding your purpose, and then stepping into it. And the thing that I'm realizing is that all of these women, they're so amazing. Everybody's sharing their stories. And we're from all different walks of life. We're different ages, different ethnicities, have different things that we feel we've been called to do. But the thing that's common with us is like everybody's kind of got like these same insecurities, same type of fears.
Yeah.
And it's like I hold myself back with a lot of things that I do. And it's from some of the same exact things that they're saying.
Yep.
And so I had already asked you to be on the podcast anyway, because I honestly was just so amazed by this transformation I've seen you make. Like, you make this huge transition.
Thank you.
And so I just want you to share your story about the changes that you've made. And then later we can kind of get into, some of those fears and things you've had to overcome to make that change. But just give us a little backdrop, because you were with the school system, and also, y'all, Lindsey was facilitator extraordinaire. Like, Lindsey was proof to me that like it was time for me to go. I was like,
You too much.
I am not doing stuff like Lindsey is like she is killing the game. It is really
You
time.
definitely got to see my work side,
Yeah,
which was very like business and serious. And yeah, I guess that's a big part of my story.
yeah.
That's so funny. But yeah, so I was at the same school for 12 years, which is like, unheard of, especially around here. But I
Mm-hmm.
taught for 6 years, and then I was in the facilitator role for 6 years. And then I did grad school. I graduated with my master's in 2019. And then 5 months later, I had my first baby. So, yeah, the best thing ever. So I had Jacob in October of 2019. And, I had every intention of just like, okay, I'll go back to work. Like, it'll be fine. And then as that time progressed, I was like, this is not going to be fine. Like, it's not going to be okay. So it was a year ago, like this week, that I went back to work after my maternity leave. And that was just like the hardest time in my life. Like I really can't even put into words just how crazy it was. I just was not okay. I wasn't ready. So I ended up leaving and quitting in, I guess it was sometime in February. I didn't last long. So I quit and I got out of there. Like I did 8 days of the work from home thing in March, and then I was done the end of March. And so I made the decision to stay at home with my baby because I just missed him. I don't know, that postpartum time frame for me was just crazy. And just having to go back to work and figure out life, I was just like, I was falling apart. So we can talk more about that if you want.
No, I would love to
expand on that very much.
Yeah. No, go for it. Because I think
so when I did, when I went back to work, I was trying to be the person I had been for the 12 years before, right? Like, I'm just going to crush this. It's my type A wave. Just, just very on top of everything. And I couldn't be that person anymore. And I just didn't really care to be that person anymore. Like my priorities, like, they had shifted in the craziest way possible. And like, I just was having the hardest time, we'd have to leave him at like 6:30 in the morning. Then, I'd be picking him up and like rushing home to do the whole like bottle washing and trying to get him down for bed. And like, he'd go to sleep at like 6:30. And I just was just like falling apart, crying like every night because I just missed him so much. And so that part was hard, but really, I felt bad because I feel like every mom goes through that, like it's crazy. Like, women just do it. They just do what they have to do. And so I felt really, I guess, inadequate, really. But like, I was having such a struggle with just like what women do. And I had a really good maternity leave. I mean, I was home for like 14 weeks with him before I went back. So knowing that women did that at like 6 weeks, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm a mess.
Girl, I am telling you, if me and McKinnon, we did the podcast about what we didn't expect as a first-time mom.
Yes, and I loved it.
And I was like, how are we sending women back to work so early? It is ridiculous. There's no way we shouldn't have at least a year off. No. At least.
I was just, I didn't understand it, and we were just really struggling with sleep. It was a lot. So there was that piece of it, which is like normal. It's normal to miss your baby. And everybody would just say, it's going to get easier, the nice thing to say. Mm-hmm. But then when it really started to kind of like scare me was I just like stopped sleeping. Like I would go to bed and, if you know me, I go to bed like 8:30, like don't text me after 9 and expect any response until 5 a.m. I've always been like early to bed, early to rise. And it just got to this point where I would go to bed and literally never fall asleep. Like, not at all. And then I would wake up and go to work. Just, just crush the day. And then like the next night, like it wasn't like this great night of sleep. Like I was still struggling. And it was just like, what is happening to me? So I made a doctor's appointment at that point because I was just like, I can't keep doing this. Like I was trying to take, I was breastfeeding at the time. So like you can't really do anything when you're breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So I remember taking a couple nights, like a Unisom, just to like try to get to sleep. And then the first thing I would have to do when I got to work was like pump and dump. And I was just like, what am I doing? You know, like what am I doing? Like, this is crazy. So anyways, I ended up making a doctor's appointment, and you know how it is in education, just like whatever the first available is, like after school, whatever
Yes.
doctor, whatever. So I met with this doctor and just kind of poured my heart out. She ended up prescribing something for me that was breastfeeding safe. I don't even know what it was. And I remember filling the prescription, bringing it home, sitting down with my pump that night, ready to pop my first pill. And I was like, you know what, like maybe I should like Google this and just like see.
Yeah.
And it was really scary when I read about it. And like I fully support medication for all, you know, like when it's needed, I totally stand behind it. But it just really scared me. And I felt like, am I just really gonna like medicate myself because I just missed my baby? Like that was really like the only thing that was really bringing me down. And so yeah, after that, my husband and I just made the decision together, like, this isn't working. It's not working for me. It's not working for him. Not working for our family. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm going to quit. And so making that decision was like the scariest thing in my whole life, because like, I mean, I had been there for 12 years. That was all I knew. Like it was my identity, like that, until I became a mom. Like that was it for me. Like I had worked so hard. Like it was just all I knew. So it was a really scary decision for me. So yeah, the path to like stay at home mom is not just like this simple one for everybody. You know, like that was a really, like I lost a lot of sleep over that. And I had a lot of anxiety about sharing the news with my boss, my coworkers, like everything. It was just really hard. So yeah, so I left there the end of March, instantly was sleeping better. You know, like I was scared. And you know, I just, you know, the world shut down like as soon as I was home, but I didn't even care because I was so happy to be home with my baby. Like those 2 months that I was back at work, like I don't remember. Like they were just like a complete blur.
It was like a blur.
Ever since then, I've just been like soaking it up because it goes by so fast, and I've loved every second of it. So
yeah,
that's that piece of my story.
now that's so huge. One, nobody really talks about the grittiness of new motherhood.
Yeah.
It's gritty. Like,
like it's insane. Yeah,
it
I was
is.
not prepared. Yeah, I mean, like the lack of sleep, just the recovering. But then, you know, where we don't look out for women is, you know, you go to that one appointment where they're just like, oh, you're good to go, honey. Like you can go work out, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what?
Yeah, like, so you just
what? And then nobody ever checks on you again, you know, and that's it.
Is that not mind blowing?
And like, it really is, because for me, it was, you know, we struggled with the basic stuff, just like, you know, the sleeping and all that. But like, when you go back to work, that's just like another level of like trying to put it all together. And I really just like am amazed by women that do it and make it look like it's no big deal. Like I have no idea how you ever did that with twins.
Girl, I don't either. It's a miracle. I'm still standing. No, but I think, you know, a lot of stuff is, and that's why I'm so open and transparent with my story if people want to listen to it. But I fight this thing. So I really do feel like a call. My heart just goes out to new moms.
Yeah.
So like when I see this, I hope this doesn't sound horrible, but like when I see women pregnant for the first time, and you know, especially, you know, if you see them on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I almost get like this pit in my stomach because I'm like, I don't think you know what's about to happen.
You have no idea. No. I mean, I was guilty. I just took my cute little monthly photos. Like, we decorated a nursery that literally my baby has never slept in one time. Like, you would just have no idea.
You have no idea. And that's the other thing. Like, I'll see, and I don't want to be, I've talked to Carlos about this so much. I don't want to be the joy killer. So let me give my disclaimer in case you've never heard the other one. also I was a middle school teacher. So this where my kids are now, like we are in the pocket. Like
Right.
I love my kids so much, and like we laugh, we joke, we talk, but I was not a newborn mama. Like it wasn't my, I mean, I took care of them, but just emotionally and like, oh my God, I was just mentally, whoa, it was a lot to take in. Now I was much better with the twins because I kind of knew what to expect. So I went in with a whole different perspective with
Yeah.
them. But with Jordan, I had no idea. The only thing people ever say to you is like, oh, when you do, girl, boy,
Right.
yeah. Everybody does that little cute thing.
Yeah.
And people should have been pulling me to the side, being like, girl, you about to be bleeding like they don't even have to tell me. You know what I mean? Like you're about to be on the emotional roller coaster of your life.
Right.
You are
Yes,
uh,
it's the emotional roller coaster. Yes.
yes. They
And
needed
you're
to
just
tell
like
me.
sitting on the couch, like just crying for no reason.
You don't even know why, girl. You be like, I don't know. Like the baby is fed, she is sleeping.
Yes.
I am weeping. What
Yes.
is happening? So you said inadequate. When you said that, I was like, that was me. I was like,
Yeah.
I suck because
Yeah.
everybody around me is like, has this baby, they're loving life, they look like they just bounced back, and I
Right.
felt like the world just looked so different to me. I
Yeah.
was like, I am not functioning well, but
Right.
nobody talks about it. So I was just kind of like, mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and now, like, with social media, I feel like, people, like all these bloggers, everybody, they have their baby, and then it's just like nothing ever happened, and
yeah,
you're just like, what?
yeah.
Like,
It's
I'm
a
just trying to take a
lie.
shower today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, girl, girl? Now,
Yeah.
like I said, with the twins, I took lots of showers. I had a whole different game plan with them. I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I know what this is like. But I do feel that, so I just like have a heart for new moms, and not that what I'm gonna say, will make it easier for them, but I'm like, at least I feel like you would feel more sane in knowing
Yeah.
it's not just you. Like,
Yeah.
girl,
Exactly.
it is not just you. So I'm just glad that you shared that because I just feel like it's something people need to hear more often.
Right.
Like,
I totally agree.
yeah, everything seems so perfect, and people talk about the snapback, and everything looks like they just fit the baby in their lives, and you like, no, your life fits around the baby. That baby don't fit in.
Absolutely.
That baby
Yeah.
don't care about you. Babies are rude.
And crazier as they get older, at least like at this stage. Like now that
Yeah,
he's like toddler and moving, like
yeah.
you, there's no just like sit quietly in the boppy while I shower. Like, there's none of that. So
I laughed the other day because you showed something. His food was all over the floor,
everywhere.
and I was cracking up. Like they, if we all lived like them, we would really be fearless. Like
Right? Yeah.
we'd be like, I don't care about your rules. Going for it.
He runs. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that newborn phase, there's really nothing like it, and it's beautiful. It's amazing in its own way, but it is hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. So if you are a new mom, if you are about to become a new mom, you just take heed. We're not lying to you. We don't want to scare you. We want to prepare you.
Yeah.
Like you're not alone if you feel those things. And then, like Lindsay said, when she felt like she couldn't do it, she went to see a doctor. Like there's no shame in going to see a doctor.
Not at
If
all.
the medication does end up helping you, there's no shame in that. Like
Right.
do what's going to help keep you sane for yourself, because you can't take care of somebody else if you are not feeling up to par.
Exactly.
You can't do it.
Exactly.
Well,
Yep.
so I see you come back on Instagram. Let
Yeah.
me, this transition, and I'm not just saying it because you're here. I am like, first of all, I stay sending you some reaction to your story. I'm all up in your story. So like you always
Yeah.
come to
I'm
the
all
top
over
because
yours.
I'm so involved with you. So you're always at the top of my thing. So watching you was just so like, huh, because we talked at carpool, but then like you said at school, you were very like bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Also, like you didn't even, I felt like you didn't do too much social media before that. Like yeah, a
No.
little bit.
Yeah. When you're in education,
It's
you kind of
tricky.
like, you
Yeah.
gotta keep things in your close circle.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really kind of be yourself in a lot of ways. You
Yeah.
kind of have to like close that off. So in leaving, I've definitely opened myself up more, and I feel like this past year I've been able to be myself.
Yes.
And so in so many ways. And yeah, it's kind of liberating to not have to just, to hide that part of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I felt when I left. It took a minute because you were so used to being so private because you were in education. And
Right.
I'm like, the freedom for me to like just live is unmatched.
Right.
So I
Right.
appreciated that. But so I got a follow request and I was like, no, it says she followed you. And I was like, that
Yeah.
sounds like Lindsay, but I was already following Lindsay. And then it
Yeah.
was like Leewood Lane. And I'm like, I sent you a text.
You did. I think I got a handful of those. Like this is like somebody took your account or something like that.
That's what I'm like, girl, do you have another account? Because somebody has stolen your pic.
Yeah.
Like somebody's stolen you. And
Right.
they are pretending to be you. And you were like, you're like, no, girl, that's me. I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
so you've been sharing your journey as a mom
Yes.
on here. And so it is does the LN stand for Leewood Lane?
So yeah, so Leewood Lane, so that is actually the name of the street I grew up on, over off
Oh,
Lawyers Road, in a little neighborhood called Chestnut Lake. So that's where I grew up, and I just have so many crazy, hilarious memories from my childhood, and so that is what I decided to name the blog that I started writing. So for years, I've wanted to write a blog. My older sister Heather, she is actually a very successful food blogger. So her food blogger is Sugar Dish Me. So she has been in this for years, and so she just kept kind of putting it in my ear, I guess you could say. Like, I just really think you'd be such an awesome like blogger. You should really get into this, and I would think about it, and then I was always just kind of like, no, like there's so many blogs out there. Like, who's gonna care what I have to say? Like,
yeah.
I don't even know where to begin. And then the last time she had brought it up was when we did like a girls' beach trip in August, and whatever she said that trip with a glass of wine on the balcony, I was like, that was it for me. I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna do this. And so I started it in September, and ever since then, I just felt like I had so much to share. Like being a new mom, I just had so much I wanted to put out there and share, and also it's just fun to document, my baby growing up.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I started it in September, and I just, I really enjoy writing. Like, that's just something that's really just therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
When I wrote my first post, it was actually titled Why I Quit, because I felt like I needed to kind of like put that out there to explain what I was even doing blogging in the first place. But I've just been able to connect with so many other women by opening up on social media. Even last week, I wrote a post about self-doubt, which we can talk more about that too,
Yeah.
because it's something I still very much struggle with, and definitely did when I was starting this blog. And I just like heard back from so many women that, I hate that so many people resonated with that, but it was just like, wow, like I'm connecting with people and sharing something that's helping them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the blogging thing has really been just such a great outlet for me, and something I'm excited to continue doing and sharing. And I thank my sister for her encouragement on that one. So she was kind of like constantly bringing it up, and one day it just stuck. So
I'm so
sometimes
glad
that's
you
just
did
kind of
it.
how it happens. I'm somebody that needs like encouragement with things that terrify me.
Yeah.
Like even coming on this podcast, like this is like so out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
but you made me feel so welcome and comfortable. So like I just kind of need those nudges, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's been so. Look, I was trying to do my due diligence as a host, and so I'm looking at your thing. When you started it, you had like I think I was probably like your 20th follower, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean, I was like it was low, and
yeah.
now you have like. Do you have 1,000? If you don't have 1,000, you're close.
I'm right. I'm right under that 1,000. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
close.
Look at that. I mean, literally, you
Yeah.
started it from scratch.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Just
really
that
exciting.
quickly. Yeah, that's so exciting, girl.
Thank you.
So I want to get to like what those like fears and insecurities were, but so you started blogging and you were talking about your life at home, well, with Jacob, Joy. I mean, I've always felt like I've known Joy, even though I don't even know who we ever
Yeah,
met because you and I
yeah,
talk so much. But now you transitioned even more. And so you
yeah,
started sharing your fitness journey, which I know is like a passion for you. And I'm so excited because since I've known you, I've always seen that.
yeah. So I have to say, if there was like a path in life that truly is my passion is health and fitness, but like, and I just never went that route. I just think there are so many people that want to be a part of it, and just with a little bit of nudging and guidance, like they can make life changes. And I just think it's so cool to be a part of that in the same way that you are, like you wake up and change people's lives every day. Like that is literally the coolest thing ever to me. So yeah, I've always been passionate about it. Even as a kid, I loved just like going to the Y with my mom. But I did lose my dad to a heart attack like a week before my high school graduation. And so that, heart attacks run in our family. And that really just kind of pushed me even more so into health and fitness. Probably in
Yeah.
college, it was a little bit unhealthy. Like I was like cardio queen, like running 7 miles a day. But it, you know, it just has really been a focus of mine because that is a strong family history. And also, it's just always been such a great way for me to deal with stress. You know, there's my most stressful times in life, like working out. A good workout will just make you feel so good. And I just feel
So
like
good.
so many people don't know just like how good it can make you feel.
Yes.
Oh, like when you're not used to that, I mean, it's like you get addicted to it, and
Yeah.
it can just change your life. So yeah, so you and I did burn,
Yeah.
for years together, and then I never jumped back in after having Jacob. I wasn't quite ready for like real high intensity stuff for a while, and then the world shut down.
Yeah.
So all of 2020 was the home garage workout thing for me. And so then it was about in October, I joined Beachbody. So I was like looking for something, like what can I do from home? I needed a program. Like I was like
Yeah.
getting in the garage and getting kind of bored with like trying to figure it out on my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I got connected with a girl that kept inviting me to be like a coach. And I'm like the number one skeptic of all things. And I was just like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. So I said no for like 2 months. And then I was just kind of like, why am I saying no to this? Like
Mhm.
really, like what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
And so I decided to say yes to it. So now I am a fitness coach with them, and I'm so excited because I literally just started like last week. So my group is small, and I'm starting with like really close friends and family, but like being able to connect with them and getting them started on their fitness journey and like creating health changes in their life, like it just like lights a fire in me. Like I love it. So yeah, I feel like I'm blogging, and now I'm doing this on the side, and I get to be with my baby, and it's like the best of everything.
It is like I'm so happy watching this, and I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way. I think the thing that I'm so excited is because we I don't mean this negatively, but I would see you outside at the carpool lot, right? And there's just like this vibrance to you.
Oh,
But then, like, you would go to work mode. And I'm not saying you were evil, but you'd be like, girl, I ain't got time to chit chat with you in this hallway. Are we talking about curriculum? Are you going to make some copies? Are you not? Because if we ain't talking about that, then girl, I gotta go. Now, if you want to talk in the morning, I was so you were so like, which was how you function, which was good. But
yeah,
I love seeing it. So now I feel like I get to see the vibrance all the time. Like I feel
yeah,
like you're true, like I'm not saying that wasn't you, but it's like this authentic like passion is just like all over you. It's all over your page. I see it in your stories. Like, I just feel like I feel your happiness.
Thank you so
And
much. I like that really means a lot, and it also makes me laugh because it's so true. Like yeah, you got the best of me in carpool because there was nothing else I could do. There was nothing
yeah,
like productive I could do because I'm really bad about that. Like even at home, I'm just like constantly running around with dishes and laundry, and like it's hard to stop me when I'm like
yeah.
focused on a task. But yeah, my work vibe was very about my business. That was my reputation. Uh, do not do not come into a meeting with something that's not on my agenda.
Girl, I'm telling you, you were my sign. I was like, so I don't think I'm meant to be here for so. It's really time for me to move on. No, but no, you were very like on top of things, and so now I feel like I'm just getting to see that other side like so much, and to see you like growing in it has just
Yeah.
been. I've genuinely been like so happy for you. I'm like, this is so amazing.
I just that really means a lot because it's been very scary. Like everything that I've done, I mean, from quitting my job on has just been very out of my comfort zone. So, and I'm still like, I struggle with being confident in those roles all the time, and like I think the biggest thing for me since quitting was just like worrying about what will people think of me, what will people think, and that to me has been like it's such a crazy thing to still hold you back in life, like in your mid 30s, to be like worried about what people think of you and letting that control and dictate what you decide to do with your life.
Yeah.
I think that's been one of the most eye-opening things for me this past year. So I wrote a post last week about self-doubt because so there's two books I have to recommend in case you haven't shared these already on your podcast. But the two books I've read most recently are 13 Things Mentally Strong Women Don't Do. Amazing. And Fear is My Homeboy. That's the one I'm reading right now. And there's just like these little nuggets of takeaways. I just love reading books like that just, self-help, like the types of books I just never had time to read and really could have benefited from the last, 12 years of my life, but was always just too busy or reading something for grad school or whatever. But this section, there was a whole chapter on self-doubt and the 13 things that mentally strong women don't do. And one of the strategies was just kind of walking you through like the worst case scenario. And so just taking a situation that you're having an issue with self-doubt and just writing down what is literally the worst thing that could happen. And so when I was deciding to do this coaching thing, I was just like, well, what is the worst thing, Lindsey? People will judge you. People will be annoyed because you're posting like a workout video on your story. People won't understand like why you're doing something so different, like, when you were in education. So a lot of it just came down to what people think. And I was just like, these are really lame reasons for me to just sit back and be like, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm just so worried what somebody might say. And that I really kind of had to go through that too when I started the blog. It was like, people are going to think this is stupid, like there's so many blogs, like they're going to make fun of it. It's just like, I don't know why we flood ourselves with like these horrible thoughts that, if anybody is thinking that, like, well, then don't follow me and you don't have to be friends with me because you don't have to be for everyone, And I think it's like not being a people pleaser and just like trying to just genuinely be me. And if I'm for you, then I'm for like it's okay if you don't connect, that's okay.
Yeah, girl. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. I just put a video up Monday or Tuesday, and if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna need you to go back and look at it. I got it on both the Looking for My Fit and my personal, and it was talking about that, and it was like changing that mindset from what if to even if. And it's basically saying exactly what you say. I was like, so the things that typically keep us from doing stuff, what if people don't like me? What if people don't understand why I'm posting it? What if people don't like what I'm posting? And so they were, one of the coaches said, turn that to even if people don't like you, it's okay, because you do have a bunch of other people who do like you. Even if people don't understand why you're posting it, you say, even if people don't understand what I'm posting, it's okay, because I'm not for everybody. Literally, girl, I said that in the video. I am not for everybody.
Watch this. I missed that one. I finished your last or maybe it wasn't your last, but your podcast on self-care is not selfish. That was the last one that I finished. So
yeah, well, this one I didn't. Yeah, this was just like a video. I don't even have it on the podcast. So if you look, you listen to the podcast, you need to go to the Instagram page, looking for my fit, and you'll see it there. And I was saying like that, what if to even if, girl, that, and this is the thing I want people to take away from this. Just think about how many people there are out there, especially women. So let's talk about that, because I don't know. I think it's hard for us to break from just a lot of societal stuff. Like, we've come a long way, but I think there's still like this other type of thing that hangs over us, especially when like you're a mom and you feel like there are certain things you should or shouldn't be doing or whatever. But what will people think? Like, everything that you named and everything that I named in a video was all about other people.
Yep.
And what they think. And so you had those, but you did it anyway. And now where you are, like, is it scary to you to think like, what if I hadn't done it?
Yeah, like I think just taking that leap of just being just in a new environment that wasn't just school. That's just like been my world for so long. I think it just really allowed me to open up, and I don't think I would have ever made any of those changes if I just kept on, keeping on.
Yeah.
So it just feels great to like be myself and just kind of learn these lessons in this past year of like, why am I so worried what other people think? Like, this is my life. I only get one. Like, I want to be happy. And I really want to help other people learn that lesson sooner. Like when you see younger people, it's like you just want to just teach them that lesson before they have to wait until they're 34 to figure it out.
Yeah. And then what would you say to the moms who are listening? Because I think sometimes we think that we can't do anything else. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you love your kids, and sometimes it's almost like that. No, it's not almost. There's a guilt in taking a leap and putting some of the focus on yourself. I might be putting words in your mouth. I feel like now that I am in full mode of like chasing the things that I want to do and pursuing my dream, one, I think it's a great thing for all of my kids to see.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's giving me this happiness that has made me a better parent.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think for me, like I spent like really it was up until October was when I joined, and that was, Jacob turned 1 in October, and it was just like that first year of just kind of soaking in that baby stage. And then I did feel ready. I felt ready for like to dive into something like for me.
Yeah.
And really that was kind of like what I started with blogging and started slowly there, and then now the coaching. And it's like, it does feel nice to have just like a sense of purpose with something outside of just, diaper changes and cleaning up messes all day, like all the toddler stuff. But also just like not being quite ready to dive into the education world in the middle of a pandemic. Like I need something with just like a bit more of a balance, because I do still really want to be there for all those little things with Jacob, but it does feel nice to step into something that's like just for me again.
Yeah. So what would you say to any women out there who have something that's like sitting on them, like they want to do it, but they're having these thoughts, because we know they're having them. Well, this is so different than what people are used to seeing, and what will people think, and what if people judge, and what would you say to them?
Like, you got it. Like, you just have to go for it. Like, you have to. And it took me, I can't remember if you put these little nuggets of inspiration in your stories all the time. And you kept putting one out right around the time I was making this decision on like if I was going to coach or not. And you just kept saying, like, if there's something you're thinking about that you're saying no to, like, go say yes to it this weekend. I can't remember exactly your words, but that like stuck with me so, like, really helped me because I was like, why am I saying no? And I would just say to you, like, just go for it. Like, I mean, I just feel like I would only be filled with regret if I hadn't done any of the things that I've tried, outside of my comfort zone. I mean, I even had to walk myself through that scenario when you asked me to do this podcast. I was like, this is so scary. I don't know if I can do this. And then I had to ask myself, what is the worst thing that could happen? And the worst thing was, I would be really boring and people wouldn't listen and you wouldn't ask me back. I was like, whatever, it's going to be all right.
I was like, girl, you going to be fine.
You do. Like the worst case scenario is usually just about other people and it's not about your personal growth,
Yeah, girl, you hit that on the head. It really is. And it's like when you get past that and you start doing stuff, it's just such a feeling of empowerment.
Right.
Now, and I do still fight the feelings daily. So that's another thing I think sometimes, you get real gung-ho about something and you like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Like I'm pumped today. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, oh my God, like what did I agree to do? But you got to fight those feelings daily. And so like, just know that if you feel real pumped up one minute and then the next minute you're kind of like struggling a little bit, like that's normal. But
it's so normal.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, every day when it's like I am not a person that like you can look through my phone. Like there is not a selfie, like period. Like this is just not me. Like putting myself out there like that is just very awkward for me. And so every day we like post our sweaty selfies in like my fitness group, and it's like that's just like out of my comfort zone. Getting on my story and doing a quick clip of like what my workout was that day. Like that is so out of my comfort zone, but I do it because I hope it's helping inspire other people, to join me and do the same thing. And so, you just have to like get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
That is it right there. I won't even try to follow that. Y'all heard her. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just keep that mindset, either, everything we said was the same, the what if to even if, or what's the worst that could happen, and just go for it. Also, I want to say the music that you put on your stories is fire.
Oh, thank you. I put a lot of thought into it. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
It's like my daily DJ moment to pull out my favorite songs. I really get into it. So that is something I do look forward to.
Yes, and you are consistent with it, and I appreciate that.
I like to keep it interesting. I feel like people play a lot of the same songs, so I'll give you some good throwbacks.
Oh yeah, you keep it interesting. Well, girl, before we get off, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. This has been so fun catching up with you because we don't get to really catch up besides through Instagram.
I know. Thank you so much for having me.
You are, listen, I'm just happy to have you here. But look, go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm Leawood Lane. It's LeaWoodln. And I'm not on Facebook anymore. So, you can find me on Facebook as Lindsey Talton. But yeah, my Leawood Lane page is just on Instagram, and then my blog is leawoodlane.com.
Yeah, so you all need to go and follow her so you can see cute Jacob and see her working out. I just love following your story. And, if you've been looking for something that, you feel like you need a group, like check out our workouts and, see if that resonates with you. But I think you're amazing. And I'm so happy that you agreed to step outside of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah. It's so great to talk to you, and just being a part of your journey is such an honor. I just love watching you grow. So I will continue to be cheering you on. And hopefully I can see you someday, not on Zoom.
Oh yeah, we look, maybe we'll run into each other again at Trader Joe's.
Yes, that was my favorite Trader Joe's visit. I look for you every time.
Is she here? Is Lindsey here? Well, girl, look, I know you have a toddler at home, so I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and talk. And I know this story is going to resonate with so many people. So thanks for your willingness to share that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope it helps.
It did. Well, I love you, girl.
I love you too. Thank you.
Okay, you're so welcome. All right, guys, listen. Again, go and follow her at Leewood Lane. She's funny, and then her baby is so cute, and she's hilarious. I don't think she gives herself enough credit for how funny she is. But again, I'll put that in the notes for the podcast. So in case they missed that, they can go ahead and follow you. But guys, thanks for tuning in. And if you take nothing else from this episode, get comfortable being uncomfortable. You got it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Okay. We'll see you all on the next episode, guys. Bye.